Hello and welcome to Cadwell Park, the airport of motorcycle racing, and we are here for the 5th and penultimate round of the MOTO Ride 6 Championship. It is SUPERSPORT bikes soaring over the mountain and hopefully not crashing, and we're here for qualifying, and it seems to me like the big choice is the CBR 600 and ZX6R, which is funnily enough also on the sport bike grid. And we've got George, late entry on that gorgeous looking George Wood Photography CBR 600. The number 93, Tleon on a ZX6R, Joe on a ZX6R, Henry Mack, the current runner-up in the championship, the chaser. He's led the championship all the way up until the previous round at the Southern 100 on the CBR 600 full HRC colours. Ducksworth, the championship leader, throwing a spanner in the works and riding the MV Augusta F3675. Now that is brave, but he's at the top of the leaderboards on it compared to everybody else, so watch out for the Cambridgeshire man as he looks to make it harder for Henry Mack to chase him down, and Mason Roth returns on board that purple liveried Monster Energy machine, and this time it's on a ZX6R. Charlie, aka Bob Rang, on a ZX6R as well, nursing a broken collarbone at the moment, so hopefully he gets better soon. So he might not be up to speed at the moment. Finley Cottenham also on a ZX6, and as formerly mentioned, Henry Mack to the top of the 128.1, and at the moment Cottenham chasing with a 28.7, not too far off. Let's see what he hits here. He did lift off a little bit there, something a bit strange as he goes through turn 1. It's a 28.7 from him so far as he goes right into the curb. That's a big crash for Finley as he respawns at the last corner. Charlie not doing too bad at the moment with the 29.9. Ducksworth moves up to second on the MV with a 28.6, so he's got half a second to make up on the CBR 600, currently in the lead. Using his usual number 11, moved away from the number 95 when, in fact, me and him became teammates. He was quite a frequent user of the number, but now prefers to use the number 11. Let's see, this looks like a clean first sector so far for the man on the MV, the championship leader. As he makes his way through the gooseneck, that looks lovely, absolutely fantastic. Could have used a bit more throttle there, just being a bit more careful down to Mansfield. It looks good here. And now into the chicane. That was brilliantly executed from the Worth, as some like to call him, as he's actually lost a little bit of time there. Up through the mountain though, let's see if he can gain anything there. Oi! A big moment for Ducksworth. Heading over the mountain, he's done well to stay on it into Hall Bends, and he may have just gained time from that. He really gave it some over the mountain and round the hairpin and to the final corner. This has been really clean, and he's knocking on the door of Henry Mack. I don't know if that delta is of his lap or Henry's. It is of Henry's. He's done a 27.3. Oh, so close to Henry's time, so close. And now he's going to get a few more shots at it. I'm going to have to pause, and every time the timer goes away. We have 5 minutes left on the clock, and Finley still sat in third with a 28.7. Charlie's improved to a 28.8. That's really impressive for him, especially with his injury. And some may think injury, you know, he's not racing a real bike, and well, a broken collarbone's definitely going to hinder you playing this game. Every movement hurts, and here is George running his Angel Paqueras replica, which he sports in real life, his brand new one, MT helmets. He's in love with it. It does look pretty good. Oi! He's got the rear slide a little bit there. I don't think he's done much practice. It was quite a late entry, as mentioned before. And down he goes, proving the late entry experience. The 30.3. Harrison running the full Paget's lineup with the Hutchie helmet replica. That looks absolutely fantastic from him. Obviously, I'll be seeing him and Henry on Saturday at the Donington Park test, so good luck to them, and we hope it goes well. as Henry goes into the hairpin. No, sorry, not Henry. Harrison. And into the final corner. Obviously not finding any time there. Ducksworth, though, coming down the back straight. Nice and lit on the brakes. Into turn 4. Nice and aggressive on the throttle. Getting the front wheel up there. Through Chris Curve. Looking smooth up until there. Caught a bit of grass on the inside and has given up on that lap. But Finley Cottenham looking really strong here. He struggled quite a lot last time out of the Southern 100. But it's looking good, and Mason on a 29.0, not too bad at the moment. It just needs that little bit more time to get to the front of that second row ahead of Charlie. With 3 minutes left on the clock, he's got a good 2 laps in him here. If this one isn't enough to get him maybe onto that front row. I mean, it's not a big gap between Charlie and Finley. As he comes around the hairpin into the final corner with that ZX6 on the back wheel. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. No, he doesn't improve. Very close to improving. You see now it comes around turn 2. Taking the wider line there. Nicely set up from the Cumbrian. As he comes down the straight. The number 36 Monster Energy Kawasaki looks brilliant in that purple, doesn't it? Then again, it is a Kawasaki. It's going to look good. Nicely done. He's taken a good amount of curve there. Let's go on board with him. Obviously, winner of the sprint race at Southern 100. The Road Racing G, as he dubbed himself. Let's see if he can become the Cadwell Park G. With a minute and 3/4 to go through Mansfield. He was a little bit wide there, but he set up the exit well towards the chicane. Braking hard. First gear. Nice. I know he's caught the grass a bit there. A little bit brave on the brakes. He's lost a little bit of time. He set it up well into the mountain. He could have gone a bit tighter there. He just needs to stay on it. Whoa, he's had to lift off a little bit there just to get the front wheel back down. Through Hall Bends, it looks relatively clean so far. Maybe could have taken a bit of a wider entry, but it's looking good from Mason Roth. As he heads into the last corner, front wheel up again. He's probably got anti-wheelie on 0. He's asking a lot of the throttle. And that front wheel is all over the place. He now comes to the line. His lap is going to be a 28.3. And that gets him just behind Charlie. Once again, chasing down the Manxman. And caught a lot of grass there. He's going to have to restart his flying lap. He's not got a lot of time with only 50 seconds left. This is a brilliant effort from Charlie to get onto the front row with a broken collarbone, but entire second off the top men of Ducksworth and Henry, as Henry, I've noticed, has got back to the top and solidified his pole position with a 27.1. These two are the championship contenders, and you can tell it. As Henry makes his way through the gooseneck. Is he improving here? Mason moves along to the side. He's happy with that second row. Henry comes out of Mansfield into the chicane. Let's see what he's doing. He had to hesitate a little bit there. Cool. Careful on the curbs. It looks clean. He might be on to improve. A millisecond off his PB. And he's folded the front. That's all gone down the drain. Now Ducksworth, he's got 40 seconds left to get the lap done. Let's see what he can do. Can this be a last minute pole grab? He's ran a bit wide at Mansfield. Let's see. Into the chicane. Somebody waiting on the inside there. That might have just caught his eye line. He's ran wide. And I think that might be it for Ducksworth. But a 27.3 on the MV. Not too bad. As he now comes up the mountain. Just getting as much airtime as possible. Having a laugh. Nicely done. That looked nice, didn't it? And obviously, Ducksworth on the thumbnail. Getting that airtime. That was really nice. Into the hairpin. But yeah, it's not going to be improvement for the Worth, as Henry Mack takes once again another pole position with a 27.1. It's looking good for him, and wow, what an effort from Charlie. Good job, lad. Front row on the Kawasaki with a broken collarbone. Well done to him. Really good job. And George scraping the bow there with a P6 on the grid, having no practice. A really good job there. Harrison's got some work to do though. 3.2 behind. Now we enter the sprint race. 6 lap up. It's a shame Alfie Cox couldn't be here today, of course. Championship contender, but unfortunately that's gone off the rails. Let's have a look at the standings then. This is the standings after the previous round at the Southern 100. As you can see, Ducksworth leading the championship over Henry by 9 points. So Henry's got some work to do, aka, well, if you didn't know, Ducksworth is J. That I can see now on our group chat, Ducksworth and Mason on call together, willing each other on. And let's hope we don't see too much bravery from the Road Racing G. Into turn 1. Here we go then. Let's get the standings out the way. It is time for the sprint race. Just 4 races to go in this season. 2 rounds, 4 races, and one of them here in the sprint race at Cadwell Park. We get away, and it's a good launch from Henry Mack. Maybe one better from Ducksworth. Doesn't look like the MV has got away well, but look on the inside. Charlie's looking for it. George has got away super well from 6th on the grid. He's up into 2nd. Ducksworth's getting abused at turn 1. He's being careful on the inside. Mason's out wide. Oh, somebody's down in the background. That is Mason on the ZX6. What a shame. But what a launch from George Wood on the CBR 600. That bright blue and white machine has got away extremely well. And he's looking for the inside into turn 4. Wow. A brilliant launch. Let's go on board with him as he chases down the, if it stays like this, championship leader of Henry Mack. Actually, it will be drawed on points if it stays like this going into the main race. As we know, oh no, sorry, it's sprint race points, so I don't think it will. 12 for the win as we go down into Mansfield. George all over the back of Henry here. Henry just thinking about the title, and here comes George for the inside. He's punted Henry out wide. That's a brave move from George, and Henry's unfortunately had to pay the price, and that that was a little bit questionable from George, who now leads this race as they soar over the mountain. Beautiful shots as they now come through Hall Bends. George making his way into this fight for the championship. Ducksworth's gone down at Hall Bends. What a shame. Oh, the MV goes down. Finley Cottenham now into 3rd. Henry can chill here. He will lead the championship at this point, I believe, going into the main race. As Harrison's made a good start up into 5th on the Paget's Honda CBR 600RR. But what a performance from George. Like, that is impressive. That was a questionable move. He may get a penalty for that one, but will he be able to open the gap enough to make up for the penalty? I think that was fair. I think, well, Henry got a small penalty for that, and I think it was a shame. But I think he maybe drop position, but we can't give that out right now. I'm going to try it. Hopefully they'll be able to hear me. George, if you can hear me, drop position to Henry. If you can hear me, drop position to Henry. Because I am race direction as well as commentator. It's a bit hard to give up a position at Cadwell Park. And there he is. I think he's just done it on accident or on purpose. He's just gone into the grass and given up nearly 2nd as well. As Finley Cottenham tried going up the inside. Henry Mack might be able to clear off now. But look at that commitment from George Wood over the mountain. Wow. Pure bravery from the man from Northamptonshire. Is Henry a bit brave on the curbs? Can George get in the slipstream, or will we see the bright green Kawasaki of Finley Cottenham dart up our insides into turn 1? No, through Coppice. This is looking good. This is looking really good from George as Ducksworth's trying his best to fight back. Henry's gone for that wide line to square it off. Down the back straight. Up the hill. Is he in the slipstream of his fellow Honda rider? That's late on the brakes for Henry. Can he get that stopped? Yes, he can. George actually struggled to get that stop a little bit more. Henry really strong through this section, through Chris Curve and to the gooseneck. It really seems like he has the measure over George. But George doing a really good job just to get on it and go. I mean, as formerly mentioned, hardly any practice from the number 93. Oh, Oh, brave on the brakes, asked too much at the chicane once again, and he does give up second place to Finley Cottenham, who's having a much better round than he did at the Southern 100 as he soars up the mountain. Oh, a big crash for that rocket Kawasaki, and now through comes Charlie into third place. Ducksworth catches him out as well, moves into fourth. Dearie me, a big crash for him, and now Henry Mack might just be able to clear off with this one. Italian has unfortunately disconnected, that's a shame. Joe's having a difficult one, so is Mason, probably because of that early crash. He's in sixth, currently chasing down Finley, fellow Kawasaki rider, but here's Ducksworth on the back of Charlie, the injured Charlie, looking to claim a podium in the sprint. That'll be a heroic performance from the Manxman. As here comes Ducksworth. I did not think he was going to go for the inside there. And through Chris Curve, he's all over the back of him, into the gooseneck, surely not, that's brave. No, Charlie's out wide, but he might just get him on the exit. He's got, oh, big lag there, contact for Ducksworth and Charlie. Ducksworth has got a 6/10 penalty. 666 is the number of the beast, and the beast is the chance of the championship lead going into the main race for Ducksworth. It's really on his back, and he's got to recover. Oh, nicely closed there. Up to the mountain. Careful there. He needs to be careful. I wouldn't go for a dive here in Hall Bends. Just wait for Charlie to make the mistake. He knows he's one of the fastest, if not the fastest man out there, bar Henry. Into the hairpin. Just be careful. More lag for Ducksworth. I think either Finley hit him in the rear there. May have just done, because it didn't look like a usual lag spike for the championship leader, who will maintain the championship lead if he's able to get into third place here with 2 laps to go. Doesn't look like George has got anything for Henry, but here we go then, into turn 2. Nicely done from Charlie, nicely done from Ducksworth. Ducksworth's going to ask a little bit more of that. Up the inside he comes. Nice manoeuvre from the Cambridgeshire man, as alongside comes the ZX6 with that little bit more power. 636 4-cylinder versus a 3-cylinder 675 F3. Here comes Ducksworth looking for the inside again. The front's gone. The front's gone, and he's pushed Charlie into the grass. Big mistake for Ducksworth. That could cost him the title next week at Brands Hatch. They're on the Superbikes, and that is Ducksworth land up in Kent, down in Kent even for Ducksworth. And now Finley's got another shot at regaining the podium into the chicane. Looking to take one ZX6R off the podium and put the other one on it as Charlie runs out wide. I wonder how he's feeling right now with his injury. Whoa, Finley, big moment there. He's managed to stay on it. The first time I've really talked about injuries before in online racing, and it does make a difference. I mean, I nearly lost the, not to my own horn, but I nearly lost the ARL Championship back in 2023 when I broke my wrist and arm in a enduro crash. I could still race, but it was very difficult. I mean, I think I came 5th at Laguna Seca and didn't half wipe out Casper at turn 1. But he certainly got me back with a flat-out punt off out the lead at Road America. If some of you guys would remember that, I doubt it. Maybe some of the GRC members watching would know that one back in Ride 4. As we're on the last lap now, Finley Cottenham doing everything he can. George is just, wow, you can't even see Henry. Look at that performance from the former championship leader now going into the main race. I think Finley doing all he can to catch Charlie, but it's going to have to be something special for him to catch him now. Oh, he's got that good through the chicane. No penalty for him there. He's a little bit cheeky on the grass. They're not too far off George here. If George... Oh, no! Charlie falls the front. Heading up to the mountain. What a shame. Oh, that was a good podium on there for him. Ducksworth is into 5th, but he's got a hefty penalty, which may see him drop behind. Oh, no. Oh, Charlie's gone down again. He's down to 6th now. But I think Ducksworth may still be able to hang on. I think he might even drop to 6th here if Charlie can keep up, because he's got a 1.2 penalty, a really hefty penalty, which will definitely see him drop behind Mason. But around the final corner, sorry, Henry's already crossed the line. What a performance from the number 31. Absolute show on the HRC CBR 600. What a ride for him to claim victory and retake the championship lead, I believe. Let me just recap myself on the sprint point system. But yeah, Henry Mack, a brilliant ride for him. A 28.0 for him, a 28.9 for George. A really good ride for George, in fact, into 2nd place despite starting 6th on the grid. Finley Cottenham, a good podium there. Lucky that Charlie went down at the end, but you need luck in racing. Ducksworth recovered to 4th, but I think will be 5th once the results get confirmed. He did a 27.9 on that last lap. A brilliant, no, sorry, not on the last lap, the lap 4. Brilliant fastest lap from him, which smashed the pole position time. Probably got a bit desperate. No, I think it was 4th for Ducksworth. So that, I think, should maintain his championship lead. It was 9 points going in. Now we're going to have to leave the lobby while they get it all sorted out. And there is the bike of choice. Most riders choosing the Kawasaki ZX6R 636. Let's see what liveries people have been making for them. Top one being a Keenan Softwogly replica. That looks nice, doesn't it? Oh, that looks good as well. San Carlo ZX6R with the top rack Razgat Lioglu number 54 from 2015 in the Super Stock Championship. I'm loving that one. That looks nice. And now we get down to the machine. 4-cylinder 636. An icon in the Super Sport range. Kawasaki's first return to the 636 engine since 2014, I believe. And before that, 2005. And while we wait for them to sort the lobby, it'll be 12 laps. Let's get a lap. It'll be a little more competent than my lap at the Southern 100. I hope. While I look down the point system, here is Cadwell Park, a brilliant circuit, iconic circuit. Shame we lost Alton Park and Snetterton from Riot 6, but hopefully we get them in DLC. Ducksworth claimed 4th and scored 6 points. No, so Henry Mack closed 6 points. And of course it will be random grid for this one. And let's take some advice here from what we saw from Mason in qualifying. Flick it anti-wheelie 2. I've got old school riding style for some reason. I don't recall putting that on, but hey ho, why not? And in turn 1 you have to be... There we go, I'm already getting invited. So not long until the race starts. I'm sure we can finish this lap. This is the decent start to this lap here. A little bit wide there, but I've squared off the exit. That is what's important, getting the exit out of there onto this straight. We've seen that a lot of times. Henry seems to be really strong through there, but this is Henry's strong spot. This stage here from turn 4 through Chris Curve and then to the gooseneck. That is where that CBR 600 is just absolutely on rails, and then Ducksworth seems to be absolutely on it through the braking down to Mansfield, and then pretty much the run through the mountain and the Hall Bends. It's a decent lap, you know. I mean, as formerly I've mentioned before, I'm not the best at Ride 6, but this is decently done. Now this is where things get tricky. You got to set it up right, and I've set it up okay there. Oh, dearie me. No, I haven't. I just need to get used to the very quick moving... Well, to be fair, it feels a lot less leanable than the Ride 5 in my opinion. But yeah, Hall Bends here is where Ducksworth is just incredible. As I catch the grass there, it looks like it's about time to go. And there's your lap of Cadwell Park with a crash at the mountain. That was rather embarrassing. Tried to get some airtime for you, but, you know. Alright then, it is time, I think, to get back on it. Let's get ready for the final race of the evening already. A 12-lapper at Cadwell Park. And Ducksworth still championship leader by 5 points. Oh my goodness, the race has started. That is crazy. Wait, hang on, are we doing qualifying? Oh, it's a 1-lap qualifying. Okay, alright, so we've been thrown into the thick of it. 1-lap qualifying. I was convinced they were doing random grid. Here comes Ducksworth into the hairpin. This looks like a good lap. Henry might be in trouble here. He's caught a bit of time off his lap there when he caught the grass. I had no idea they were doing this. I thought it was going to be random grid, but no. Ducksworth comes to the line then, and he does a 27.8. That's a good lap. 27.9 from Charlie. Oh my goodness. Shut up, Harrison. Shut up. Alright then, Ducksworth on pole with a 27.8. Charlie with a 27.9. George on the front row with a 28.2. Harrison, a good job there, 29.6. I mean, not the best lap, but got himself on the front 2 rows. And Henry Mack starting 6th. He's got some work to do. We've lost someone, I think. Yeah, Talian. Mason Roth 7th. He won't be all too happy about that. But yeah, Ducksworth, he's got an advantage here now. Oh. Oh, it looks like Ducksworth disconnected, so it looks like we're going to have to leave again. Yeah, and they're going to go random grid. Apparently, that was what was meant to happen, but something happened, a typical milestone glitch, which forced them into a single lap qualifier. Let's try this again, shall we? That was already invalid, but it was a tiny catch to the curb, but it's a good start to this lap. Look at that. A lovely line into turn 1, and I've screwed it. Right, okay. Give it one more shot, and then we'll go. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be watching me absolutely bottling laps at Cadwell Park, but the lobby currently being set up. There you go, right, that is just brilliant. I think that was alright. Let's aim for a 28. Try get in where all the other fellas are. I mean, we don't have a setup, so maybe a low 29, high 28. The top laps seem to be mid to low 27s. That's what Henry and Ducksworth are doing. Oh, for goodness sake. Useless that. And now I've been invited, so it looks like they're about to start. I'm sure we can get this done. Through the gooseneck, bit of a wheelie. Down to Mansfield, not too bad again. Bit early on the brakes, just being cautious. Trying not to screw it over. Nicely done through the chicane. Now let's just not mess up the mountain. That wasn't amazing. Neither was that. I think we're looking at a high 28 here. No, we're not. We're looking at a crash. Alright, then it's time to go. And, for goodness sake, I'm so rubbish at Ride 6. It's awful. But never mind. Enough about me and more about the championship contenders. Ducksworth and Henry. Ducksworth leads the championship, 5 points going into this race. And next round, oh, for goodness sake, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It sounds like George was listening to some Taylor Swift there when I joined. Yeah, very interesting pick from Ducksworth to choose the MV. But it seems to be working for him. I mean, that sprint didn't go so well, but his laps were fast. And here is his machine of choice. No, it's not. That's not what he chose, is it? Yeah, it is. Sorry, not the F3, the F4. Oh, no, yeah, it is the F3. The F4 is a superbike. Yep, struggling there. Don't know my MV Augustas all that well. I'm too used to the F800, the one that they currently use in World Supersport. For some reason, not in Ride 6. Come on, fellas. Come on, Milestone. What are you doing? Flipping lazy buggers. Alright then. F3765. This is the bike of choice for Ducksworth. And it does look good and it does sound good. And it does work by the looks of it. And the ZX6 also seems to be a popular pick. But the one thing that seems to be the most popular is the CBR 600RR. Is a looker, does look the part, and it sounds the part, as all 600s do. And we're just waiting now to go again for the 12 lapper. Cadwell Park is such a good circuit. It really brings out the best in racing, especially for the lower bikes. I mean, it does make it a little bit difficult to overtake sometimes, but it's usually quite a close race, but whether it be between two riders or a group of some with small bikes, like for example the Supersport bikes. Just now seeing, wow, and breaking news that if you're into your BSB, Andrew Irwin will be joining a new team launching, the Met Phonacab Ducati racing team, running Andy Irwin. It's a lovely yellow, white and blue livery. It looks very Swedish, but it still looks very awesome. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Revealed at Donington Park, running at the test, and it looks fantastic. It is the old V4R. Looks like they've bought it off PBM or maybe Moto Rapido. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. Good luck to Andy, and I think that is a good idea because no development required, and it's all set up there for him. And I'm surprised nobody's taken the Kawasaki's on. That's a good setup package from the factory lot. So it's a shame nobody's running the FS3 bikes, and for goodness sake, people being annoying again. Don't know what Finley's yapping about. Make sure they are muted, especially Harrison. More people being annoying in the chat. Let's hope that we get a good race here at Cadwell Park. Let's see if Henry Mack can close that gap down with just one round to go. It'll be a sprint race and a main race at Brands Hatch on the Superbikes. It is the big one. It is going to be an absolute show of a final round. Hopefully Henry does a lot of practice. Hopefully Ducksworth does a lot of practice. We can get a proper car ride. And Tommy Bridle enter the season at Brands Hatch. Perfect bikes, perfect track to end it off. Let's hope we get an exact replica. Good luck to Ducksworth, good luck to Henry, good luck to the whole grid as we get ready to go for the Supersport bikes heading over the mountain for one last time this evening. It is the main race coming to you now. Let's see. It is random grid, and Ducksworth has been lucky enough to get pole position. Mason starting second, Henry starting third. Here we go then. The main race underway. We had a bit of lag there, and it's a poor start once again for Ducksworth. That MV Augusta just not getting the best run off the line. And look at the Honda darting to the lead, and up the inside again comes Georgie, pushes Ducksworth out wide. Mason into fourth, Joe right behind him on the ZX6, but again a brilliant start from George. George, oh my goodness, oh no, contact with Mason as he rejoins the circuit. What a shame. Mason's going to be fuming about that. And now the two championship leaders out at front. I didn't really get a good enough look there to see if it was a dangerous rejoin from George that caused the accident for Mason, as Charlie's made his way up into fourth. He's got a penalty. Contact with Finley. He's gone down. It's a bit of a mess here at the start, but Henry Mack is pulling away. At this point, they will be tied on points going into the final round next week at Brands Hatch. Don't miss it. What a show that's going to be. As they come out of Mansfield, Ducksworth doing all he can to chase down Henry Mack. If this ends like this, if it ends with both of them drawn for the title, the championship will go to Henry Mack, who has won once at every single round so far, bar the Southern 100. Took victory on the ZX4s at Donington Park in the main race and sprint. Did the double. I think he won 2 races. No, he won 1 race at the Speedway race at the Blue Wave Stadium. Ducksworth took 1 there. Sean took the 3rd. And then, of course, we headed to Laguna Seca for the baggers. That was victory for Henry. Ducksworth's down on the inside curb. Took way too much of it. And George followed suit. A bit of a sympathy crash there. Ducksworth, though, shouldn't have it. Not to call Harrison and Joe slow, but I don't think Ducksworth will have much of an issue catching back up to the 2 in front of him and just saving that 2nd place, and maybe hoping on a mistake from Henry. But Henry on fine course here to do the double on that CBR 600 here at Cadwell Park and make it a championship lead if it stays like this. Joe running in 2nd, Harrison in 3rd. He's come about a good pace, but as I've formally mentioned, Ducksworth doesn't look like he's having too much of an issue. Let's just hope he stays on the bike. Henry's down! Henry's gone down the lead at the chicane. He's going to get a penalty for respawning and cutting the chicane. He slowed down just a bit. Here comes Joe. He's passed. Joe leads this race now. Cadwell Park is seeing an absolute barnstormer of drama. And here we go then, over the mountain. Ducksworth soars and looks to get through at Hall Bend. He knows he can still win this race. Mason's up there. A big moment on the front there for Ducksworth heading into Hall Bend, into the hairpin. Is he going to try and find his way through on Harrison? No, he's not. He's just being patient, but Harrison playing the defensive line. He's run wide at the last corner. Ducksworth, oh no! Into the back of Harrison. It's going to be a penalty for the championship leader. I don't believe this. Drama here at Cadwell Park. He may get a penalty for that. We might just need to see a new angle, though. Lag can do a lot. Oh, Ducksworth's down. Oh, no. Ducksworth asking too much of the bike again. It's happened again at the same corner. Stay on it, man. Please. Just get 2nd place and it can be a tie on points for the title heading to Cadwell. But Henry Mack now retakes the lead from Joe. He's in 2nd, from Mason in 3rd. Ducksworth has a lot of work to do in 4th, but as I've formally mentioned earlier, he still has a chance at reclaiming this 2nd place. He's got some work to do to catch Mason in 3rd, and even bigger of a job to do to catch Joe, but he's got 9 laps to do it. Heading down to Mansfield, a bit of a penalty for the man on the F3675. George, not too far behind on the CBR 600. Once again, a good start for him, but it's unfortunately unfolded for the Northamptonshire man. Charlie doing well to nurse that collarbone injury and doing a decent ride here. You know, a bit unfortunate with what happened to him in the sprint. It seems like might have just had an effect on him, and it looks like he's not finding that pace that we saw from him in the sprint early on. Might just be aching a little bit. If you're nervous about a race, you're going to be hanging on tight to the controller, and I can't imagine the pain that's going to put his collarbone through right now. Let's go on board with Ducksworth as he tries to close down on his former teammate Mason. Obviously teammates last time out at Southern 100 on the Cadbury's BMW S1000Rs. As they head down to turn 4. I'm not exactly rooting for Ducksworth here. I just want the championship to be close. But yeah, as default, it will go to Henry if they draw on points after the final main race at Brands Hatch. But look at Ducksworth clawing that gap in to Mason. Joe ran a bit wide there at Mansfield. Probably on call with Mason right now. We will apologise for... Oh no. Just wonderful lag provided by the Ride 6 servers as Mason Roth goes down. Oh, that is just horrible to see. It's just the most annoying thing in the world, and hopefully it's not like that in MotoGP 26. It was bad in 25, it's bad in Ride 6, it's not as bad as 25, but it's still unacceptable. Come on, Milestone, just sort it out. We've all had enough of this, and you need to step up if you want us to keep buying your games. The contract for MotoGP 26, no, the contract for MotoGP games runs out after 26 releases, and if they don't sort out their act, they'll get a rightfully earned deny of renewal. There's Joe doing all he can to stay on that bike and hold back Ducksworth from taking 6th place, but the man on the move now, the championship leader, trying to get it drawn for points. That is going to be such a show next week if it ends up like that. But at this point in time, it'll be Henry Mac's advantage of 4 points heading in to the sprint race at Brands Hatch. And Ducksworth just trying to undo that little wound in his side. He was leading by 9 points going into this race, and to come out 4 points adrift would not be very good for him at all, with Henry Mac possibly doing the double here today as we're about to approach the halfway mark. Ducksworth has a penalty, a 2/10 penalty, but Joe without one as he sends it over the mountain. Careful now, Ducksworth, let's not crash it yet. Mason's been able to hold on to 4th, and he's not got George too far behind him. Unfortunately, Harrison is disconnected as we're sticking on board with Ducksworth around the final corner. Hopefully no lag gets in the way here, and hopefully no lag gets in the way at the final round. That would really break the hearts of you guys and me and just the riders in general. We want it to be as unaffected by lag as possible as we head down into turn 1, up into turn 1 really, and then through turn 2. This is where they go down, and as I mentioned earlier when I was doing my example lap, you've got to get a good exit, and Ducksworth has set it up perfectly there. You saw Joe a little bit wide on the exit, took it a bit tighter into the corner, and that's allowed Ducksworth to get alongside. But that ZX6 isn't the easiest to pass on a 6753 cylinder. He's made it work though on the brakes. He's gone brave on the brakes, and he's had to go a bit tighter just to make that work. Joe has been able to close a little bit more. He set the exit up well through Chris Curve and go towards the gooseneck. He might be able to make a move down into Mansfield if he gets this right. It's looked good there from Joe. Really impressive from him. But Ducksworth, this is his strong point. There goes Joe a bit wide there into the chicane. Nicely done from Ducksworth. Really on the move now. Henry's going to feel the pressure. He's over the mountain. He's done a 27-0. Ducksworth! No, that's Henry! Wait, what? Sorry, who crashed? Who crashed? I think it was Ducksworth with some veer lag again. That really sucks. Ducksworth might be struggling with the internet. Mason not too far off. Ducksworth can still get this 2nd place, and he's really going to be asking a lot of that F3 now to close the gap with 6 laps. No, 5 laps. No, sorry, 6 laps to go. Yeah. Oh no, Charlie's disconnected. Looks like that collarbone is just taking its toll on him. So close to a sprint podium. A valiant ride, and understandable for him to call it quits in this one. Hopefully he'll be back next round, just feeling a little bit better next week at Brands Hatch. Here he comes through Chris Curve, just trying to do everything he can to close that gap. He's got a limited amount of time. Unfortunately, the racer count has only dropped to 6th. out of 9 races that we started with. I think it might have been 10 at first. Oh, wide there from Ducksworth and Mansfield, but you can definitely tell he's closing. Just be careful, Ducksworth. Don't drop it now, because if you do drop it, you'll be behind Mason Roth, who's lurking. Mason will definitely be out there to help Ducksworth win the title, though, but I don't think it'll matter if it means a victory for the Road Racing G. Won the sprint at the Southern 100, but wants a little bit more out of it. And it's a shame for Alfie. Looks like George has just given up there. Sat on the outside, Joe's gone down. The hairpin, a big crash there for Joe. Drops in behind Mason. Mason is now onto the podium, and we can see a good battle between these two ZX6s if Joe is able to reclose that gap. Down the straight then, lap 8 of 12, and I don't know what the gap is, but it's a hefty one as Henry's already on the back straight. That's a big gap for Ducksworth to close, and he'll just be looking to calm down and take second here for the equal points. As Mason comes along the straight, let's see if Joe is able to close anything. Joe will be looking for his first podium. Almost got it at the Southern 100. Didn't quite make it, and here he comes through turn 4. Doesn't look like he's able to really close much on Mason. Might be waiting for a mistake from Mason James Allen Rothery, and there's the mistake. I've cursed him again. Sorry, Mason. That's the second round in a row that I've absolutely done him in there. Sorry, Mason. And then they come into the chicane. Mason doing all he can now to re-close the gap to Joe. Over the mountain he comes, just trying to stay on the bike, but it looks like he's not too far off. It could be possible to regain the podium, and I hope he does, because he is going to be not very happy with me after this one. If he doesn't manage the podium, it goes again. Of course. There it is. I don't mean to laugh, Mason, it's unfortunate, but that is just some awful luck. I'm going to stop talking about Mason. I'm going to stop looking at him at this point, because he now goes into turn 1 with Finley Cottenham right behind him. Unfortunately, we're going to have to look at him, the poor guy, because he's on for a battle with Finley Cottenham. And let's just hope he can stay on it this time as he comes down the straight. Let's hope no lag hits him. As just as I said that, Finley looking like he's lagging a little bit. Down into turn 4. Finley on the green, ZX6 all over the back of him. Can he make a move now and take 4th away from the Road Racing G? Oh, Mason on the grass. Careful, man, careful. Through the gooseneck. Finley brave on the curb. George just staying out the way. Oh, look at Finley sideways, and George might be up to something. Please don't do anything. Oh, Finley, that was a cut and a half. 2.4 second, and George just looking like he's getting a nice view of this fight. Let's go on board with him and take a look at this as he goes. He thought about going past Finley. Wait, hang on. Joe's crashed, and it looks like the Road Racing G might still be on for a podium here, unless he crashes again and I've done him in. He's still got 3 laps to do it. For my sake, I'm hoping Mason does it. just so I don't get him screaming at me. But here we go through turn 1. Turn 2. What can the Cumbrian do to close the gap on Joe? Joe Hines, it's been a bit of an up and down race for him. Went to Portimao for the World Superbike round, doing some photography for Chloe Jones and Cass Bakeman's. Nicely done. And here he comes into the chicane. Oh, and he's out of the chicane. He's gone down big there. And he's going to have to cut across it. Might get a penalty. George nearly ran into the back of him. Goodness me, that was close. Finley's now on for a podium if he can stick with Mason. That's all unravelled for Joe. And of course... Oh, Mason! He's gone down at Hall Bends, George. George goes down in a big way. If Mason can just stay on the bike for a couple more laps, again, I'll say it, he could still be on for a podium because Finley's not all that far away. The gap to Ducksworth now is huge. The gap to Henry now is about half a lap as Henry makes his way through Chris Curb. What a sublime performance again from Henry at this point on course to take the double at Cadwell Park, heading into Brands Hatch. Looks like he's going to have a race week of riding in Kent. Tuesday, racing for the title at Brands Hatch. Then at the weekend, racing at Leeds Circuit in a wild card on the Fab Racing Championship, and good luck to him for that one. And of course, I'll be commentating on that one as Henry Max soars over the mountain. Lovely. As we've now only got 5 riders in this race, so many disconnected through Rage Quit. Joe's still got the chance for a podium, and so is Mason, but it's a bit of an ask with 2 laps to go for Mason to close that gap. He's got a half a second penalty. There, realistically, he's going to need Finley and Joe to crash. And up through the mountain, Finley's just trying to stay on it at this point. Trying not to dump it on the ground. Same goes for Ducksworth, but I think he's got an okay enough gap to maybe drop it once. But I'm not going to say he should do that. Definitely not. Never want to risk that, does he? But I'm wondering what the bikes are going to be run next week. Looks like, I think we're going to ban the Ducati just because, for obvious reasons. The Honda will probably be, Honda and BMWs will probably be the bikes of choice for next week. Might see a Kawasaki, and the Yamaha R1 doesn't really seem to be the bike of preference. Oh, no, Joe on the grass. He's gone down. Mason into 4th with a big gap to Finley Cottenham ahead. Looks like Finley's going to secure this podium on that green ZX6R. And here comes Henry over half a lap ahead. Improving on his lap time on the final lap. Jumping over the mountain. Lovely. Lovely from Henry Mack. He's been unstoppable this evening. Give a big hand to the CBR 600 man in the factory colours. Wow. I mean, if he rides like this at Donington Park this weekend for Stanford Racing, then expect to see his name at the top of the timesheets. But he is at the top of the timesheets here. A brilliant wheelie across the line at Cadwell Park to take the title fight to Brands Hatch. If Ducksworth can make it to line here in 2nd place, it will be duel on points heading for the final round. And what a show that's going to be. Make sure you're there for that. Give a hand to Ducksworth. He did well there to close the gap and recover to 2nd place. And it's going to be a draw heading to the final round. Finley Cottenham won't make it to line. It's a podium for him. Oh. Oh no. Something's happened there. Something weird has happened there. For some reason it's telling me Joe's on the podium. That's probably going to be a different situation. But yeah, Ducksworth and Henry. That's going to be interesting. And once again, I'm really sorry, Mason. I've cursed you a good 3 times there. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Hopefully next week we'll have Jack Hammer. He's not feeling all too well today, but hopefully he feels a bit better next week. And he'll hopefully be here for the finale at Brands Hatch. Superbikes at Brands Hatch is just going to be incredible. The GP circuit, for your information, where Henry and Ducksworth will be drawn for points. Thank you for joining me tonight. Get well soon, Jack Hammer. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Cheers for now, guys.